job, buddy. P1 right there.
Good job, buddy. P1 right there. Hey, it's the voice you guys don't normally hear on Sunday night. It is Cooper. We are going to attempt to give out some money tonight. The old No Toad Racing League. We're doing some off-season hijinks. We're doing it tonight from old Las Wages itself, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 160 laps, testing out 70% fuel load in these Xfinity cars. We'll have 3 sets of tires, and I do believe, if I remember correctly, that is on top of the set that you start with. Anyway, this is the Biggest Loser, the money race. Basically, you buy in, and once you've bought in, then you get to go fast. And you go fastest, you get to win some money as long as you buy into it. So we had one of them, the more things change, the more they stay the same moments. And look at the top of the practice board. That would be him. Old Skylar Carnes leading the leaderboard over Matt Piracini. We got Mr. Kreidler, Mr. Corey. We got a newcomer here, to the No Toads, the Sutphin machine. We'll flip through here. We'll get some closer TV shots, and we'll do some of this kung fu here. We'll pop around. There's the old 99 ride of Kreidler. We'll get this on real quick while we're finishing up practice. I'm going to jump over, and there it is, the Skylar Mobile. I hope that's back to the scheme he's on, because it does switch some, and sometimes my trading paints goes weird. Oh, hey, look, it's the Canadian internet right on cue for Matt Piracini. Oh, man. There has been talk that we have got some issues with some of the contestants having an issue getting loaded in. So we may be short on cars tonight. That's something that'll be doing some developing. There's the Sutphin ride, hailing from Vermont, where the Super Troopers are from, I believe. And then we got Mr. Will Jester, got the 305 Hydro Kids, Hydro Trophies. He's coming from Roy Hyde, the runner-up from the ARCA series. Then we go, where's Sticky Fingers at? How am I supposed to call him Sticky Fingers if he's not here? He is here. He's posted time, but he's not here now. AJ Benish, James Lawson. Yep, I think we've got some iRacing back-end issues here, guys. Joseph David is not showing on track. Ollie's not. The Nodge, I have seen the Nodge several times. So how are we missing these guys? We're going to try and rack this back up here real quick and see. That is kind of odd. We have AJ loading in here. Well, nothing like live. The red and black car, that is James Lawson. Okay, now he is pictured. Joe David, he's here. Oliver is showing as a no-show. The Nodge is over there. I know I've seen him. He's right behind his pit board here. We'll just jump on his roof cam real quick. That's Nodge's car. He's got some of the Looney Tunes with him. Alex Goff, I think, was actually the one saying that he couldn't get in. Nick Biddy is also registered and not here. So we've got only 15 registered. We've got less than that on track. So I would say we've got some problems. And we've got the practice coming to an end. So we'll have 5 minutes for qualifying, and if whatever doesn't get solved during that, we may have a kind of tiny field. The Las Vegas, as you can tell, this is going to be a daytime race. The temperature, we'll jump back over to that while we're letting this load through. We'll pop back up. We got a great day in Las Vegas. 65 degrees. Of course, they don't know what humidity is out that way. I'm sitting in Iowa, so me know a lack of humidity. Partly cloudy skies, 4-mile-an-hour wind. Cars are going to make a lot more wind than that. The track temp is only 91 degrees. This is a mile and a half. It's the one of the few tracks that yours truly has won. So I like Vegas. I don't really know why, but it is just what it is. So we can spoil the fun here and see if we can find anybody who's went out and taken a time yet to qualify. It's not looking like we do. We'll just leave that up there and we'll see who shows up and who doesn't. How about that? Well, this is off season. This is just not points anything. We've got next week again. Next week will be another non-points race for the Toads. We'll be broadcasting that as well. Plan is May 22nd will be the... Oh no! Wait a minute. This is the last one. This is why we do these off season, because I'm old and I get confused. Next week will be the season opener, because that will be why we're going to broadcast that. I'm going to be doing that one. We'll be broadcasting next Sunday night for season opener, May 22nd. That one's up in the air. We may miss. Then we're going to have an old friend come back and pick up doing broadcasts on Sunday night, who is just, oh man, so good. And speaking of so good, we are going to have Mr. Kendall Kerr come join us in the booth here in a little bit. He's got some ends he's going to tie up, so we're going to expect him a little later in. But 160 laps, you guys will have a great show with Kendall. That dude, he knows what he's doing. And we've got some other possibilities. My Monday night cohort, Kyle Gretsch, who most of us know as Sexy Waltrip, I think he had some stuff he was going to try and do, so he may be in here too. Like I said, me and him normally on Mondays. For the Sunday only crowd, we're that guy that they told you not to watch on Sundays. We're the Monday ARCA crew. And we're doing Sundays. And we're doing some notes back and forth, because yeah, it looks like we got connection problems here. And got some time confusion, and it's the off season, folks, and it's starting to get nice out. I know I spent most of my day out digging holes and putting flowers in it. I kind of felt like a Labrador Retriever. I didn't wear my tail though. I just dug holes. What crap they're going out there sticking her on the pole? Take some of that. Jonathan's he's just being progressively faster. I mean, he not like he wasn't quick to begin with, but I mean, he's really, these Xfinity cars and him really seem to be getting along really well. And if you can out qualify the likes of that 47 car of Skyler and Piercini and Hyde, some of these guys that they're just fast. And man, that's a pretty good lap. So what we have got for you as we get a knock on the booth door, I believe that's Kyle. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing good. You caught me right as I was just getting up to go grab some water and my laptop.
Oh, well, at least we've got that kind of chemistry still down.
Oh, yeah, this is perfect. Digging a hole, as you said.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's off season. I already told him that I'd screwed up and thought that we still had another week of off season, and, old people confuse stuff.
Well, it's off season if you're poor.
Well, that's true. Or I'm just off all the time, so maybe that's my problem. I'm just off. We'll let you get that, and it is looking like... Okay, I was just going to say, it looks like it didn't show up for letting anybody else in. So it's going to rack us up for 160 laps. We have got 16 showing registered. I do not have a time posted showing for Biddy or Goff, though. We may only have 14 cars. We're going to see what this looks like here. Get you the grid up for the top 12 anyway. We got Kreidler and Benish on the front row. Then we got Carnes and Hyde for row 2, Piracini and Sutphin in row 3, Benson and Lawson in row 4, McCuskey and Corey, row 5, Turan and Jester, row 6. Tentatively, we've got the Nodge and David, row 7, and Biddy and Goff would be row 8 if they do get in here. And we're kind of hitting on stuff here, and they are not shown in here. McCuskey is also, as of yet, not showing, and Benson is not showing his back either. So we might have like a 10-car deal here. So, I mean, that's a 1 in 10 chance to win some cash. And we all like cash. I mean, I do anyway. We get stuck down here. We get up on the leader's car. I'm going to just kind of hop through here. Row 2. There is our third row. And there's a row without Benson, but we do have Lawson. And there's Corey without McCuskey. And there is Jester and Oliver Tran. And there is David and the Nodge. So yeah, we are loaded, and that's what we are gonna have, folks. Gonna have a little shorter field for the cash today. It's showing McCuskey jump to the pits, so maybe may have McCuskey, but maybe it's gonna make him start from pit road. It doesn't look like he's on pit road though.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jason Benson, it says he has just dropped due to upload packet loss. There's apparently some sort of back-end iRacing problem that has popped up in the last 30 minutes or so. That could be the issue, which would be unfortunate, but it's a Sunday after a cup race. It's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's showing us 13 cars and McCuskey being the 13th, starting from pit road. So we're gonna go with what we got, just because that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, and with a little bit less cars, we definitely will at least get some good racing here. Just kind of fall into line. Not a lot of super close racing, but just a lot of good strategy. So hopefully we get long green flag runs, and we can get this 160 lap finish within the time frame allotted.
Yep, I think we'll be able to do that. I mean, laps go by quick with Vegas. That's a nice thing with it. We did make some cameras here. We're on the back of AJ Benish as we come up to the green. Wait for him to get it. This will be a wait for the green, and we've got a green. Looks like Kreidler is going to take him off into turn 1.
I always feel like whenever we say Kreidler's name, we just switch it up randomly. Like, whatever we're feeling, we'll say it.
Well, I was trying to get an eye out of there, but I was, I don't know if I got a little sunburn on my lip or what, so I was trying to bite a piece of skin off of it.
Need some chapstick, boy.
Well, I do. I do have it. I just fail to use it, I guess. I do dumb things. That's what I do.
So we got Skyler looking on the inside here of John, and the interesting thing that he said in the Discord earlier that I think is important to note here is he said he's knocking some rust off. He's been kind of absent, just doing some sort of schooling for medical field that he works in. I'm not going to act like I know what he's doing because I don't. But it has something to do with him moving somewhere, and that's why he's been absent from the league. So, him coming out here usually is really, really dominant, but we have not seen him that often in the Xfinity car. I think we saw him once at Richmond when he won, but for him saying he needs to knock the rust off kind of shows some self-reflection to show that, to be consistently quick on this simulator, you really need to put your reps in and, not have these, massive breaks in your schedule. You need to kind of consistently be racing at least one thing every week.
Yeah, you're right. The switch over to doing broadcasting came back way slower than I thought I was going to. that was a shock. I was slow enough to begin with, and just kind of knocking some of the rest off. And I don't know. I'm not sure there's a whole lot of people who put in more hours and laps into this thing than Skylar. This is just like a second life for him. He's always in here turning laps.
I think we have an intruder in our booth.
Yep, I was just going to say, Kyle, I think we've got our third. Mr. Kerr, how are you tonight?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, you sound good to me. What about you, Kyle?
I hear him loud and clear.
All right. I know sometimes it's always on push to talk, so good to see it's on voice activated. See John Kreidler on the pole. He's always fast qualifying, and the newcomer Kobe Sutphin going after him. Looks like Skylar's kind of laying back and saving a little bit of tire early on here.
Yeah, Kobe looks fast.
I'm going to go look up the stats here, but I believe Kobe Sutton had a good run, I think in the Xfinity finale last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he just took the lead.
Yeah, Kobe stole one from me. We had that late yellow. That's at Homestead. They had an extra set of tires to slap on. We see they're side by side. John Kreidler is not going to give up just yet, and that's going to allow Skylar Carnes to suck right back up to both of them.
And the rest of us know that's not what you want, is you don't want to have Skylar come up there past both of you and wander off into the sunset alone.
No, we've seen the back end of the 47 car many a times in this league. We all have.
Absolutely. We'll jump on with Skylar here and see what business looks like from his perspective.
So I'm sure you guys already talked about it. When you think about Las Vegas, I mean, what comes to mind? I know for me, it's not your typical mile and a half where, I mean, you got a regular tri-oval, not the quad oval like Charlotte and Atlanta on here, and there's a lot of on-throttle time here at Vegas. It's like you hardly have to get out of the gas at all.
Yeah, well, and most of what I've done, and had some degree of I don't know if success is it, but I do a lot with the trucks, and Vegas is very much hammer down. Once the tires are getting to the end of the run, you start feathering it a little bit, but I mean, you can let off just a hair going in, just to keep your stuff a little fresher a little later into a run, but it's almost a super speedway. The Xfinity cars don't have that much downforce. I mean, you get to feathering a little earlier with them, but it's almost like a real small Daytona.
So, Cooper, I'm looking at the YouTube chat here. Some scrub named Tyler Merritt is saying it's a little hard to hear you over the engine volume.
Well, I've actually turned it down a couple of times, and doing the ride-alongs, I did leave it up. So, but just for Tyler, I think we just crank it up.
Yeah, it turned out to
It's
be
not balanced. It's fine. I've been there myself. You want to have the engine noise. It adds a lot to the broadcast, but it's easy to have it a little bit too loud, especially with some of those cameras and camera angles.
I didn't realize how loud some of these stock cars were until I was trying to, as we see Skylar look on the inside of John Kreidler here for second place, until I was trying to have a Discord conversation with a friend of mine who doesn't iRace, and I could barely hear them, and then I switched over to a Formula 4 car, and I could hear them perfectly.
Oh yeah, the Cup cars and NASCAR in general are real loud. I've noticed that with some of the road course cars that I didn't realize they were running. And actually, I'm looking at what I've looked on the OBS stuff. It might be something inside of iRacing itself too. So we might just have to yell over it, and we'll I'll let you guys know if we do just jumping on board and just ride along with somebody for a little bit.
I'll tell you what, a couple of these guys you got to give a tip of the cap to right now. I mean, we see the 66 of James Lawson hanging right with Oliver Turan. Got to give a shout out to the 66 bunch on the good start to the race.
Yeah, James is just somebody who shows a lot of he learns. He puts in the laps and he learns. Kind of every race that he's in, you see like steady improvement. With him doing the King of the Hill series every weekend, he's just in every race, and he's not somebody who's gonna do something that's gonna ruin your race. Very consistent and just kind of like trying to hit his marks, and every week it seems like he's just getting closer and closer and closer.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be all that long until we see him coming in. So we've got 3 guys who have gained 5 spots, being Oliver Turan, Will Jester, and Kobe. I'm sorry. Our biggest gainer so far is in the 45 Canadian Tire automobile. One of the OGs, Rafter, who has worked his way up from 10th up to 4th.
Always good to see original league members doing well. It's good for the league overall whenever you've got, familiar colors, familiar numbers up there running up front.
And tonight, I think just in general, what we're going to probably end up seeing, just with the whatever issues we've got coming from iRacing, I think we're probably going to be seeing generally green. I mean, I don't see us probably having a whole rash of cautions. With being 70% fuel, I think the first pit stop is going to be a total mystery. I don't remember off the top of my head what a full load goes, but it seems like it can go 50-55 laps at least, because that's what a public is, right?
Should be right around 40 laps, I would guess, on 70%. The high 30s into right around lap 40. Now, how many sets of tires do they have laying?
It was marked as 3, so okay. That should be 3 on top of the set that's on it, correct?
That's
yes.
Correct. Yeah, so you'd pit 40, 80 at 120, most likely throwing all 3 sets on, unless you want to play the strategy game. One yellow mixes it all up, though.
Well, right. That's
and while up front, we've had a change to the lead. We're both sitting here talking about strategy. Skylar Carnes is taking the 47 car back to the lead, the Silver Bullet.
And we know what his strategy is. Wave bye-bye to everybody and just get to work at putting everybody as many laps down as he can.
I'm surprised my camera didn't catch that. I keep it on exciting, and I'm looking at Piracini and Al Corey battling for 4th back there. Pretty tight battle. Oliver Turan trying to join the party.
Yeah, there's honestly, there's pretty good groups there that are kind of on top of each other to be able to keep on and do some work against each other. The 42 is showing on track.
Yeah, he rejoined. He's just kind of pit pattern around, but he kind of needs some cautions here. Maybe I don't know if it's fair, but maybe he could get some wave arounds if there's a caution that comes out just for the connection issue.
I'm showing him 1 lap down. Is he more than 1?
From scoring, from what I can tell, I can just tell if he's lapped.
It does say 1.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so he just needs one caution, get him back on the lead lap, add another competitor in there.
Well, that should be easy enough. Who do we want to jinx?
Don't put that on me.
Well, Al
side
Corey
by side right now, 4th spot. Al Corey, Piracini, good race going on.
Yeah, those 3 just kind of have the look of they're just going to be around each other all night, unless one of them does something sneaky and pulls 2 tires and gets out of the pits a second early or something. And Goff is starting to work his way up to him as well.
Yeah, something happened to Alex Goff early in the race. I think he might have a little bit fresher tires than them. As I saw him coming out of the pits. I don't know if he had connection issues or what, because he is actually showing 9 laps down.
Yeah, he was in and out for the entire practice session, from what I heard. Typically, when we
Oliver Duran making a move. Sorry to interrupt you there, Kyle.
All good. Typically, when we do these, I would go through and try to get a fuel number and everything, and I have no clue. I was totally not expecting that during the broadcast. I just saw Cooper sitting there, and I'm like, wait, we have a broadcast tonight?
Yeah, I was thinking it was at 9:25 like our normal Sundays, and It being Mother's Day, it was tough getting the boys down. We were up at the in-laws and driving all over the place today. So definitely want to wish Happy Mother's Day to all the moms tuning in right now. We wouldn't be here without you.
Well, I want to brag. My mom's got this thing with gnomes, and I stumbled across this little like a nightlight thing, and I was gonna grab it and paint it. You know, like you see them Christmas trees that are like ceramic, like you can paint up. I got one of them, and I wasn't really sure what to paint it with, so I didn't paint it. I gave it to her, and she's like, "Why were you gonna paint it?" So me forgetting something actually worked out in my favor for once.
That's just called good execution. I mean,
I'll take being lucky over it all the time.
Hey,
Here comes the 74 car, Will Jester. It looked like maybe Piracini had to check up and Turan got out of the gas and throw Will Jester into the mix back there.
Yeah, that's what the broadcast actually on is, just this group of cars, because the front three have done checked out on us. So we're watching the battle.
The Hornet's Nest right here.
Yeah. They're Skyler is about 3 seconds ahead of this. Kobe's a couple tenths behind him, and Kreidler's just a couple more tenths back from him. But they're all 2.5 seconds ahead of this group. So this is where the action
Piracini's going to clear Corey right here. He's in the preferred lane on the outside line.
Well, something I have noticed, Kansas and Vegas are, I guess you want to, I don't know, a sister track, the correct term that we won't really want to use for this, but they're built similarly, is if this was Kansas, I would really think we'd be seeing people down on the flat to try and get that little bit extra, and you just don't see that at Vegas. Why not?
I don't know. I mean, you're talking to a guy that loves the top of a racetrack. I mean, when we go to Kansas, I'm going to be right up against the fence. But I know Kansas has progressive banking, so the banking on the inside is not inclined quite as much as it is on the outside, similar to the Homestead. It allows you to get that big launch off the corner from the top. But it's definitely an art form. Is you step over the edge ever so slightly and you damage one of these cars, you don't even want 10 seconds of damage with these Xfinity cars. They are very aero sensitive at a track like this if you catch the wall.
Oh man! Speaking of being sensitive, I think I made too much fun of Matt's internet because he's still got the blinks.
yeah, he's
Well,
been
he's
trying
leaving
to
this pack now. He's been saving his tires or something.
Yeah, we've got just the tower up, and I mean he's not really gaining or losing. I mean he's holding steady. It's just past 3 seconds back, but yeah, I mean he's making good time, and he's worked away from that group that he was fighting with.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Matt Piracini right now, I'm going to do everything in my power to pit one lap before the leaders. If I can pit one lap before the leaders, I'm probably going to be on to third place's draft. And then there's going to be a 4-car pack for the league.
We just about had our caution. Ollie was underneath Rafter coming up to the stripe, and just, it wasn't really a block. It just, just kind of moved going down the front stretch. And, oh boy, that got pretty close. Any sort of net code would have just sent Rafter.
Look at Will Jester making a move around Oliver Turan. Move the 74 car up another spot.
Oh, Jester heard me. Thank you for using the apron.
I have a feeling that the apron is a little too lateral with the grip you need. I feel like if you, I honestly don't remember having too many races here. I do remember doing some next gen stuff here, but the apron, is good for trying to do like a fast lap or coming off the final corner and you're trying to cut down to get to the stripe a little bit quicker. But if you get down there, it's very, very flat, and you just get on it and you just kind of slide. So you're just kind of consistently just wearing those right sides more than you need to. So I think it's just one of those things where if you do gain anything, you're going to gain just a tiny bit of lap time, as we see Alex Goff hitting the wall in the background. Oh, we got a
Oh!
spinner. He
Yeah.
almost hooked high there in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that got sticky in a hurry.
Yeah, he's parking it, so it looks like he's gonna tow.
Jump to replay that.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Sticky.
Yeah, I do that a lot to Kyle, and he just lets me have my fun. Oh my lord!
Mike Joy's always good for that. I can very clearly remember one time Brett Bodine in the Hooters car being on fire at Daytona, and him saying, "And the wings will be extra crispy tonight."
Oh, I do remember that. But yeah, there was how close that was from Roy Hyde. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, I look for Roy Hyde and AJ Binish if there's a caution or something to be right up in the mix. Usually you see them more towards the front, but I don't know if they didn't have a chance to qualify or just didn't have the practice time to lay down a good lap or what. You usually see them a little further up in the pack.
Yeah, they're well, and speaking of oddities with iRacing, we're jumping through this is something you guys can't see. On the broadcast right now, we're right side windowing. Those who have watched the ARCA cars know that I like my doggy door camera. This is what I got with the Xfinity car due to the window being shaped, that bar there, and it's just terrible. There's Will. All right.
Oh, they're almost about to make contact. Man, Oliver Turan dove it in there deep. I can't believe the 74 in him didn't send somebody up to the wall, but they made it work. Saw Ollie back out of it. I was really surprised that the net code didn't happen right there. It just looked like it was set up for that.
Yeah, Ollie looked like he was doing a good job keeping it on the bottom there, but just coming off, he was starting to kind of float up to kind of naturally go with the line that he was trying to go for. But Will Jester was kind of doing that diamond coming off the corner, so it was just kind of one of those situations with Skylar's
The
pitting
10
this
cars
time.
10 cars in the pits, and we see the 74 caught the wall right there. A lot of stuff happening right there at one time.
Man, lap 37. This is going to be. They're not going to be able to make it on fuel if they're pitting here. Like to evenly stretch it between their three fuel stops as we see Skylar Carnes coming down.
Yeah, we see AJ Binish and Roy Hyde still out there on track. We know AJ's really good at stretching fuel mileage.
Yeah, AJ here last year came to this race with my paint scheme. And was out front near the end of the race, and it was not broadcasted, but according to him and others, if it stayed green there, he would have, been the winner of the race. But unfortunately, there was a spinner and cost him the win. So, yeah, just he knows what it does to take to win here. But I mean, him being able to stretch it out these extra couple laps here, that might prove the point there.
I remember that race, and he for sure would have been the winner. And he was the only one. I think there's maybe one other car, but he was about 10 seconds behind AJ that could have made it. We see him going by right now. Skylar Carnes coming out of the pits.
And Will slid through his pit, had the wide shot and tried to kind of catch him getting back in there. And here comes Roy. He's got his lap led, and he's going to bring her on down. And
see that AJ's going to be the only car that makes it the full 40 to be able to go that 40, 80, 120 strategy. Whereas some of these other guys are probably going to have to go a run and not put tires on it. It's going to cost them a lot of time.
Yeah, AJ is really good at saving.
It doesn't even look like he's coming this time based on his line right now.
No, and I'm decent at saving. That's by product of just
Kobe
being slow.
and Skylar both blow by him there.
Yep, running them down. The truck league that me and him was in, he was always one of the last ones to pit, and then coming over here, he steps foot for foot with Rafter. You can always count them guys being 5 laps after everybody else before they'll stop.
Well, maybe he's already thinking about green-white checkers, because if he can go 41 every time, he's probably good for a green-white checkered. He did come over the intercom and say he was coming this time.
Yeah. Kobe and Skyler have unlapped themselves, and then everybody else will get their laps back here as we see him popping on the pit road. We'll just make sure he gets in his stall correctly. Oh, he's got a little man in a boat right there on the side of his car. We'll get down there nice and smooth. Oh, man, AJ, just awesome.
Yeah, we're getting to be about the time of the year that these Leinenkugel summer shandies are right in season. Not a bad, refreshing drink after out mowing the lawn.
This is a true statement. There's few things that are better than a almost frozen cold beer after it's 1,000 degrees outside and you've been out mowing for hours. Probably not the best thing to drink, honestly, but it definitely feels like it's the best thing.
So it looks like Kobe's being pretty aggressive on these fresh tires right now, or I'm not sure, maybe Skyler didn't even take tires, because Kobe's been able to put almost a 3-second advantage over Skyler for second right now, and John Kreidler's back in third, about 4 seconds behind right now.
Bring up the pit stop time, which as far as I can tell with this is time in the box. Kobe was a 15.4, Carnes was a 12.3, Kreidler was a 15.2, Turan, Piercini, High-Jest are all mid to high 14s. Benish actually hadn't even shown up yet, but time-wise they were all pretty close. I don't.
That 12 definitely is probably fuel only, if I had to guess. 70% fuel, so they're going to have to take more than just a 2 tires set of fuel. That's probably about right, that 12-second stop for fuel only for Skyler.
Okay. And then stint length, going through, when they actually stop. We got Setfin was 36, Kreidler 37. Well, Kreidler,
yeah,
Carnes,
Skyler's
Turan.
definitely took fuel only. John Kreidler just went by him, and Skyler's still losing time to the leaders. He's 5 seconds back now. I mean, I'd about bet the farm he took fuel only.
Well, and I mean, he's one of them that's kind of like Brugg, that's real fast and pretty good on tires, so maybe he thinks there's enough wear. Hyde did hit 39, and then Benish hit 41. The Nodge hit 38 laps, but yeah, we got some of them that were realistically 4 laps short. So I mean, you're going to be a dozen laps short at the end of the race.
Yep. And at that point in time, Skyler will be making up these 2 seconds per lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if he's got another set to bolt on. So yeah,
or if there's even one yellow, he's golden. Now at this point, the AJ Benish, Kobe Sutphin strategy, or the guys that put on a set there, are really probably hoping it goes green the whole way.
Definitely has that look to it. I mean, we've got everybody kind of just strung out, and
we've actually lost Joe DeVete as well. We're down to just 12 cars. Everyone on the lead lap, other than just Jason Benson, still holding on for hope and a prayer. That lucky dog.
Well, he's been joined by Rafter and Lawson. They're all 3 showing a lap down right now.
Oh, geez. Wonder what happened to Rafter. Must have had something happen through the pit cycle.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. I've got my cheater map up. We're gonna cycle through and get him. He's showing on track here just right after. We'll actually be scanning up here on him in just a second. Yeah, there's I'm just flipping through the field here. We got Skyler's running 4th. There's Fast Matt in 5th. What, everybody's a few seconds apart too. We've got to run your pace, and almost got a Darlington style Las Vegas race going on here.
I went back and checked. It looks like Al, when he came down, his pit stop was extra long for some reason. Maybe something that happened in real life that needed to be tended to, because I don't think there was any damage on his car. Maybe he got a penalty.
Yeah, it could have been speeding. Wouldn't be like Al to be caught speeding, but never know. Had it happen to me.
Can you get an entry speeding penalty and then you have to just sit in your box, or
Yep.
is that something that
40
okay?
seconds, I believe. Yeah.
Yep, that sounds right.
I thought it was you got the penalty and then you had to come back around and serve it.
On exit, you do.
Pit stop, Corey. Oh, and that track's actually like Crutchley ran a 14.8 pit stop right above him, and Corey showing 54.8. So
Yep, he must have got nailed speeding.
Yep, that definitely would track. Oh man. Well, I mean, I'm going to use this.
And
as
the guy
tonight.
that really didn't want to see that happen was Jason Benson, because now it's Al Corey solidifying that lucky dog spot.
Yeah, right.
And like you were saying, you know, the way this is looking, we need a fan to throw a beer can out there to get a caution.
All right, Kyle, you're closest. Oh wait, no, I'm further away. Oh yeah, you guys don't want to. You know, the irony of this is I actually would be sitting in Vegas right now. There's a expo thing out there that my company goes to, and they were thinking that I would like to go to that, and I informed them I would not like to go to that. So I'm still terra firma here in Iowa. I do not foresee somebody as dumb as me going to Las Vegas and anything good happening to him. Cody Slut 5. So, Mr. Oliver Tran, running third, is up 8 positions on the night.
Yeah, he's reeling in John Kreidler, too. That might be the next battle to keep an eye on.
Get our box of doom up here. We'll kind of keep track of what it's showing for. Right now it's showing Kreidler 0.63 ahead. We'll watch this thing here for a little bit. The box up here shows battle for first. That's just because I've got 5 cars and Ollie's running third, so don't get too excited about this. This is going to be the battle for second. But about 6/10, and actually looks like Kreidler might have. Maybe he was sidetracked doing a in real life look away, because he picked that gap back up a little bit. Jump back, see what Jester is tooling around here in 6th. Just kind of watching times. Actually, well, it looks like Benish and Hyde might be working their way in on Jester.
Looks like Kobe Sutton's running a different paint scheme. We got the Lakers on the back there. I'm not sure what's on the front. Maybe a team logo, but could have somebody adjust those left side numbers, scoot them up a little bit. It's so fast he knocked him down.
Well, and I wondered if that was to keep them out of the stripes, but yeah, they are up on the right side, aren't they? Well, we found your preseason fix is you're going to have to scoot your numbers up.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think he's got the rest of it down.
And right now, John Kreidler seems to be one of the fastest cars on the track. The way I'm seeing it, he actually just knocked it down under 5 seconds there in the corner. He's definitely running quicker lap times than Kobe right now. So he must have found something when Ollie was reeling him in there and was able to scoot away from the 002, and now he's tracking down the 10 car.
Yeah, he's made up almost 6/10 over Ollie. He was within, we were at like 0.66 or something. Now 1.17 up. So got a little bit of a gap building there.
One of the other cars to keep an eye on, certainly the 47. Just to update you on him right now, he is currently running in 4th, 11.7 seconds back is what I'm showing.
It looks like from the crawler. Actually, I think we'll pop out.
Actually, 13 seconds now. It must have just refreshed.
Well, that's what I was saying. It was, I'm showing like 13-2, 14. Nodge is losing back about 17 and a half. Yeah, I think that we've got Kobe on a mission to just try and pound this into the ground. He wants to take him home some dollars. So for you and Kyle, who can consistently run these laps, because we'll get into something like this, and my mind will start wandering, and I start missing my entries. What do you do in this, where you're just, you're logging laps, you got 100 laps left? What do you do to keep focused?
Well, the hardest thing for me, sorry, Kyle,
It's a Discord thing.
is if I don't have a car in front of me to chase. I mean, I love having a cat to chase, so sometimes I'll put down better laps in second than I would if I was the leader. But I drive a lot based off of sound, so I just try to get in a rhythm based on the engine sound, and know that, obviously as the tires are wearing down, you're going to be off the throttle more and more and more as the run goes. But I don't know, it's all a feel thing. You just kind of got to push it as hard as you can get away with on exit, and just know that line is steadily drawing back towards less and less aggressive as the tires are getting older.
I find whenever if I have like you said, a rabbit to chase, it's very easy to just kind of gauge it off the person in front of you. But if I'm by myself, I actually kind of find, if I just am focusing on what I'm trying to do, I can kind of zone out more. So I'm less focused when I have nobody to chase, but I can be more consistent than I am if I'm behind somebody where I'm totally focused, where I'm being very analytical of what I'm doing. So if you ever notice that I'm out front in a race and I'm kind of pulling away, I might randomly say something, like I might notice a detail on the track I've never seen before. So it's I don't know if that's just a me thing, but that's just kind of having that.
You're a good leader, Kyle.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely a follower. I would much prefer have that car in front of me to follow in.
Oh no, Canadian internet has striked again.
Oh no. Why?
Oh man, nobody wanted to see that.
Oh man.
Something else to keep an eye on, I'm showing John Kreidler now under 4 seconds at 3.9 behind. So he's doing a better job than Kobe on saving this set of tires for sure.
So I'm going to switch over to last lap time, and just looking through, there's a 32.19, which was AJ finish. And
He pitted later than everybody, so he'll have the freshest tires of them all.
Okay, and Piracini, 32.08.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep, and then Benson had a 32.10, and it just updated. They just crossed the stripe again. But yeah, that I was looking at that and I'm like, man. And I mean, overall, everybody's still 32 seconds. I mean, really, there's 37, 38, 23s. There's a 08 and 01, 33.01 from James Lawson, 32.92 from Skyler.
Yeah, I was going to say, Skyler's just got passed by Will Jester. Now we got Roy Hyde taking a look to the inside. I mean, he is really paying the price on that fuel-only stop, but it's going to pay dividends at the end of this race. I just don't know if he's going to have the ability to make up that much time if it goes green. I mean, 16 seconds now.
I was trying to figure out what Skyler was talking about, but he kind of had like a very incomplete sentence where he said that ruined my race, just kind of randomly, and I was trying to see if he's talking about a lapper or somebody else around him, but he was completely by himself. I'm wondering if something happened on that pit stop where potentially he'd come down and he didn't have his tires checked.
Yeah, could be. I know the one that always gets me is after you've gone down the pits once, or like say Bristol with the double pits, and you got to go uncheck your fast repair and or if you're coming back in to top off under yellow, you have to remember to do it twice. That gets me quite a bit. Now, obviously, that is not what happened here, but he probably did start the race, you know, with his fast repair turned off and tires turned off, and it's quite possible that could be what happened.
We're talking about Russ on the broadcast.
And you know that could be an accidental fast repair. I mean, though here, I mean, if it's going to happen to you, 8 cars on the lead lap running fairly. I mean, you know, none of these are easy, but you know, we don't have old Daytona with all the bumps and stuff. You know, we got a pretty smooth, decent track to be able to run, and you know, you got multiple lines you can run if you need to. It's Raptors going out around Skyler. I mean, if you burned it, okay. I mean, you know, just being careful, but I mean, being careful. Skyler's fast enough that I don't think he's going to lose 16 seconds over the course of a run just being careful.
No, he's definitely on older tires. I think if I'm Skyler, I'm going to pit right now. You're going to have to make at least 2 more pit stops, maybe even 3 more. I think I would pit now and at least take advantage of those fresh tires. And like, I'm doing math in my head, and if he's going to have to pit with, you know, 10 laps to go, like most cars will, other than maybe AJ, and he'll have that extra set, you know, you might as well short pit one of these and take advantage of those extra set a little bit longer than just that potential 10 laps.
Yeah, true enough.
Well, that's kind of hard to follow what I'm saying without a graphic, but
Oh no, that's, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna run the extra laps instead of only having 10 at the end, if you do it now and then you stretch that out over a 37, 38 lap fuel run, you're gonna get more good overall from them than you are staying on these old tires for another 8 laps or so before you stop.
Right, like you pit maybe 70 and then maybe 105, short pit it every time and take advantage of those fresh tires. So it'd be like, I don't know, maybe 70, 100, and then 130. I mean, if you're going to have to pit 3 times and throw tires on them every time, at least, I mean, then you can just go out balls to the wall, you know?
Yeah.
So we got leaders on pit road again.
Yep. Lap 73, well, switching over to 74, so as of now, that's 6 laps. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we're going to be 10 laps short here.
Now, it's going to be interesting here if John and Kobe both put tires on, because they're going to, I mean, if this thing goes green, and I think they've maybe short pitted it again just a little bit, they're going to have some laps on old tires at the end of this race. Whereas these extra 2 laps that, you know, AJ is saving is going to win him the race if it goes green.
And
yeah, I really like AJ's position here. I mean, it's the strategy call where you've already committed early, and there's no way for someone else to catch up to you without having to extremely sacrifice the race. So, yeah, he's sitting really pretty here, and Roy Hyde's pretty much the only person that's close to him. But Roy, you know, pitted that lap or 2 early, and he has to do so much to catch up to him. So AJ's just sitting here, just perfect position.
yeah, and there's always some luck that comes into these. You know, I mean, you want to have everything set up as best you can, but I mean, we've got a relatively decent pit road entry. This, you know, there again, Vegas doesn't have the, oh man, I mean, rattle off, you know, Darlington or Atlanta, old Atlanta anyway. You know, some of them just torturous pit roads to try and get onto. So, I mean, it's not necessarily even that, you know, he's got to worry so much about, which, you know, he doesn't need to go blowing in 1,000 miles an hour and then try and brake check it to, you know, to get wound up. But, you know, it's not super likely we're going to have somebody wreck off of that and get a caution. I mean, if he's can decently just roll in, roll out, just don't speed, you know, don't beat yourself. I mean, he's he's showing that he's got the fuel mileage that nobody else has. So yeah, he ought to be able to walk off with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, if these three guys, AJ, Roy, and Naj, can all stay on that, they're going to finish the top three. But I heard Naj say he was pitting his time. That's not going to be good for trying to make it at the end.
Yep, and right now...
There's no way those guys having to even pull down the pits and just even do a splash and go are going to make up the difference in time. I mean, this thing goes green. I definitely look for that 7 car to be in victory lane.
So I'm sure that we have probably just done our part to jinx him. But we'll go on here and see if we can get the pit stop graphic to come back up. And we can see who has come back in. Those excluded from the list, which Crutchley is on pit road now, so he will show up, is Benish, Hyde, and looks like Corey have not stopped. Jester looks like he is just left pit road. There's yellow at the end of his block, so we're over halfway of who is pitted. So, well, now with AJ, the later you pit, the fewer laps you've got and the less fuel you need. So does he go ahead and run this out 41 every time, or does he go ahead and start stopping at lap 40 because he's got the insurance?
I think just in case, I would probably go to 81. That's me. Just give yourself a little bit more leeway towards the end of the race in case you happen to not save quite as good.
He is lifting off, getting off the car, entering, and then just coasting until the middle of the corner, and then getting back on throttle. He's doing this every corner.
Oh, well, we will jump inside.
Roy Hyde is on the pits right now. He pitted on lap 80.
Oh, he's clutching. He's dead stick. Yep. He re-engages between 3 and 4. We're sitting in his lap riding around here. He's $8,000 start line. I mean, he's giving her all. Yeah, that's full clutch idling. He's pulling a Sid.
At this point, I think I'd be hitting the pits. Because there's not really any... I mean, if you know you can stretch it 40 laps, I mean, you know you can easily make it 39, at the end of this thing. I think I wouldn't be giving up. I mean, he's probably given up a second and a half, 2 seconds right now by being out there. I'd probably hit pit road now if I'm AJ.
Well, he could also. He's going to be taking laps off the stop he needs to make later.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, was he's not going to have as many laps to go, so they should put less fuel in on that last stop, so he should have a faster last stop.
Well, I'm talking more of he's going to have to not fuel save, potentially, if he keeps this going on that final stop, where he can kind of just do that straight 35 to the end.
Oh, that too. Well, it looks like he's finally going to peel off.
I hear, he cannot speed. If he speeds on pit road, he kills his whole strategy, so he does a good job getting a load up there.
Here comes the little man in the boat down pit road.
See, this is the really interesting thing about iRacing, though, is if you have these, and I think we do a good job at this, too, where we have this kind of awkward, not straightforward kind of races where it's a little awkward either with
overshot
having...
Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's the camera angle.
How about the fact that through all that, John Kreidler's going to inherit the league. So Kobe Sutphin's going to have to play catch-up here on the 99. Not sure if John pitted a lap or two before him, or if he just executed his entry and exit a lot better than the 10 car.
Yep, same lap. Lap 73 was their last stop. Pit stop time between the two. Whoa. What? Huh. Well, this is interesting. Kreidler had a 15.1. Sutphin had a 13.2.
I wonder if he maybe overshot the box and that didn't show up in there or something.
Let's see. Pit lane time in total. What? No, Kreidler was a 46.5 to Sutphin's 43.7. So, yeah, that's odd. But pit lap, yeah, they were both 73. That is really strange. How you come out with a slower pit stop and longer time and you take the lead away from the... That's So Sutphin had to have lost that just trying to make time on the track, right?
Unless Sutphin didn't take tires for some reason, but I mean, he seems to be holding steady. I don't think that's the case. But I mean, Kreidler's faster right now. I mean, something that's definitely changed that I've noticed is the shadows are all over the track right now, so potentially the track temp going down, that's going to change the way these cars drive ever so slightly.
65 degrees. Track temp is 14 degrees cooler than it was at the start of the race. It's down to 81 degrees.
That's going to change things.
Oh, man. This is why we don't let Sid set up races. He does weird things. No, not really. I'm sure he had nothing to do with that, but...
We always have ours set in my other league to just randomly generate, and we were running a night race at Auto Club, and we're like, man, we're going to have this awesome-looking sunset, and we got 100% fog, and you could hardly see the cars on the broadcast, so...
Oh, yeah.
It looked like that race that Chris Buescher won at Pocono.
Yep, we did that with the Legends cars at Iowa Road Course, and everybody that popped in goes, "Where's the track?" I'm like, I didn't know it did this. That one was totally on me.
Was I there for that one?
I think I YouTubed it just because everybody was complaining so much. I thought it was funny, so I just did one of them cut together things. I don't know what account it was on, to be honest with you. It's not on the NTRL one. It'd either be on the LOL one or just my personal YouTube.
So guys, something pretty interesting that I want to point out. Through all of this pitch cycle, Skylar Carnes has actually got it to, he's only about 9 seconds back from John Kreidler. So he may have thought he was out of it, and he really might be with the AJ Binish strategy. But at least being on pace with the leaders, he's not out of it by any means. I mean, Kobe's lost touch with John Kreidler. Oliver Turan is reeling in Kreidler, so keep an eye on the 47 car. He's not totally out of this thing yet.
Well, I've got some more lap times. Kreidler ran a 32.2. Sutphin ran a 33 flat. Turan was a 31.6. Carnes was a 31.7. Binish was a 31.68. But, I mean, yeah, those guys are noticeably faster than the leaders.
But Binish is holding that river card, knowing that he can make it on one more stop, and none of these other guys can. Except maybe Roy Hyde. I think Roy Hyde can too. But Binish is in a little bit better spot. Good little 3-car battle right now between Ollie Turan, Jason Benson, and Skylar Carnes. Jason Benson, man, got a feel for the guy. I mean, now stuck 2 laps down. Clearly he's got the speed hanging up there with these leaders, but unfortunate connectivity issue at the beginning will hurt every time on an all green flag race.
Yeah, absolutely. So Binish pitted at lap 83. Hyde pitted at 80. And Benson, which, I mean, we was just discussing that, he hit at 79. So realistically, if he needed to save a lap, he could. But yeah, everybody else was 73, 74.
See, Kobe Sutphin's off the pace. I mean, I don't know if he hit the wall or what, but Ollie Turan and Skylar Carnes just blew by him.
He was using the apron on the front stretch, I noticed. So I wonder if he's got some sort of handling issue, or if he maybe got the right front hod, or right rear hod or something.
Don't look now, the 7 car is actually reeling in this group.
So one of the things I wanted to point out is AJ is sitting behind this group this entire time, and he has been clutching and coasting and just sticking with the group ahead.
That's pretty impressive.
And then Roy Hyde behind him is doing the same thing as well. Ooh, that was close between Benson and Oliver.
Yeah, I tell you that AJ's, I mean, definitely big braining it. Well, you know what? Maybe he's just saving gas for a burnout. Maybe he's he knows he got this thing in the bag, and he's like, you know what? I got to burn him down when we're done. Gonna make a smoky little man in a boat.
Well, I think one of the worst things that you can do is is just kind of not, is wait till too late in the run to kind of save fuel. Because if you just save a little bit every lap, that adds up. If you're just trying the second half of the run to save all the fuel you could have saved, if you just sort of save it from the beginning of your run, then you're just kind of, you're going to be just wasting time. So yeah, just doing this is just good for security's sake. And like with him running those extra laps, if you can do the same here, and only have to save that like tiny little bit of fuel near the end of the race, I mean, he's just going to be sitting pretty. And especially if he can elongate that that final run and potentially catch a caution where everyone else is a lap down, that also could work in his favor.
These guys are all reeling in the leader, John Kreidler. They're now under 6 seconds behind him.
AJ is getting a run on Benson, and he's in the clutch. Watch him tuck up behind him here, and we go off into one. He's going to clutch it again. And he is still starting to roll up on these guys.
Well, he's got 7 lap pressure tires than some of these guys, so that doesn't hurt, but potentially using the clutch there is just not allowing the car to drift up the track quite as much.
Yeah, he's nowhere near like he was at the end of that last run, but he's clutching it in and then jumping back off of it. But yeah, he's
making a move underneath.
Oh, got Ollie down on the flat. Back to nothing.
He might just flat out have this race won without his strategy.
Got him.
I mean, we very well can see him track down the 99 before this thing's all said and done.
Whoa!
He's got a lot.
Oh man, sorry.
Tires.
The broadcast, we had the rear roof cam on, and man, Ollie looked like he got close.
Yeah, Ollie definitely got a little too close there.
That's going to allow the 47 car, Skylar Carnes, to get underneath Oliver Turan and grab third spot.
Yeah, man, that was close. But, I mean, surely those guys probably haven't, you know, I mean, you can hear the car next to you, and if it keeps going dead silent going into the corner, I mean, they probably had an idea what he was doing. But then again, that would be kind of demoralizing. What Skylar and Ollie looked like they were on a collision course there for a second, but no harm, no foul. Kobe has entered the pits.
Interesting time to be hitting pit road. I really think there's a chance he might have hit the wall and just hurt the handling on that thing.
I was scrolling through and trying to find just something, and I can't pinpoint anything.
Well, we've got.
Who knows? Maybe that was just his little section where he was just took no tires, but I swear he was keeping up with the 99 there for a good while, but maybe that would make sense why the 99 was able to put 3 seconds on him and we couldn't really figure out where.
I mean, you're running kind of, you know, middle, lower line on this track anyways. The only time you'd really get... No, I mean, just you're not going to be running too close to the wall, and I mean, even when he pitted there, it didn't look like he had any significant right side damage. So, I mean, it could just be like pitting early and then, you know, having the tire fall off, kind of severe, you know, and kind of boxing himself into the strategy. And I think that's potentially, is that his last set of tires?
It could potentially be, but my guess is he didn't take them that time, and he's taking them now, and he'll take them one more time with maybe 30 to go.
We'll get the lap timer up, and we'll see what he comes out running. Oh, 30.82. That is a full second faster than Benish. He ran a 31.87. Those are the 2 fastest times on the clock. So, yeah, new tires are worth a second over a guy who's riding around using the clutch to slow the car down.
And AJ's still reeling in the 99 crew, too. I mean, he's down to 4 seconds.
Yep, start cueing the da-da, da-da, because he is coming. Just about a 10th a lap. But, I mean, man, that's just... He's doing that without I mean, he's on the clutch. He's coasting, and he is catching the leader.
And I hate it for Jason Benson that he's stuck a lap down, because him and Oliver Turan are having a heck of a battle for position right now, and Roy Hyde reeling him back in now too.
Yep, absolutely. That's what right along here with. Oh, Benson's doing a little clutch food too.
I thought I heard that.
Al Corey left the pits. Go on the front here. Yep. Well, so this is a clutch fest here. Ollie had a lot of. Well, let's jump up to Ollie and see if he's doing it. We'll go on the back and watch these guys going in. Nope. Oliver is not using his clutch. Let's jump. Roy, what you doing? All right, we're going to be going into 3 with Roy.
I just noticed Ollie has a little bit of right front damage.
Yep, Roy is definitely on the clutch. Well, let's just do that. We got a few enough cars. We're just going to hop. Kreidler is not on the clutch. We know AJ is. What about Skyler? Skyler somehow has got around my camera settings, and this is the original settings. This scroll bar came around. We're going to ride in here and see what he's doing. Watch that tack. Skyler's not clutching it either.
I think you're not going to see a lot of these drivers clutching who haven't adapted to that strategy, and it's too late for Skyler and these guys to kind of come back and gain those 5-6 laps of fuel that they just don't have.
Jump over to Ollie and the setting I had. That is so weird. I don't know how he's gotten into stuff where my camera settings don't override his. Odd. But yeah, that's definitely weird how we've got.
Right now we've got Roy Hyde underneath Oliver Turan for position.
There he goes. Always got that run on the high side. Always spiffy driving outfit. Benson is menacingly in the rear mirror. Roy was not able to clear him.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit fresher tires.
Oh,
there he goes. Oh, he had it. He could have slid up in front of him.
Yeah, now these two run a lot, with each other, and are usually in a chat room together. So I'm sure, there's probably just the Ollie knows if Roy got up there, he's probably going to hand it to him. Where, if that was me and Sid, I'd have probably tried to wreck him. Let's face it, we need precaution.
Always looking at it from the broadcast point of view.
Oh yeah, it's got to make
better
the TV.
show.
Exactly. It's like the punt today in Darlington. That was all for him. Bye.
Uh-oh, something has happened. Yep, Kreidler just hit pit road.
And Ollie is down to hit
here
pit
comes
road.
Skyler as well. So AJ is going to lead the next 10 laps at least.
Wow.
I really think the race is between AJ Binish and Roy Hyde. If Roy can somehow, I think Roy will be able to make it to the end on one more stop too.
Yeah, there's no reason that they shouldn't. Oh, Ollie turned it around. He is nose up to the wall.
Oh my goodness.
And can't get it turned in there. Oh my God, it looks like that Austin Powers thing with the steamroller. Oh man. He's backed up in the wrong. Oh man.
Hey, at least it didn't bring out a caution.
Well,
I thought that's what you meant when you first said that. I was like, oh goodness.
Oh
AJ
no.
is.
No, he. I'm sure just rear brake, but he turned it off in there, and it just nosed right into the wall.
And the view I'm looking at, there's a nice 1996 Dodge Ram tow truck back there.
There is. I don't remember if
In
it was
Hunter
this track.
Green.
Yeah, and that one showed up somewhere else. That, and there's a fire truck or an ambulance somewhere with the 87 cars I drove inside of. I like hid my car in it. It looked like I wasn't even there.
And there's always that mid-90s Mustangs in the parking lots as well.
Oh yeah, you got to have a good mullet mobile at a NASCAR race. I prefer the like third and fourth generation Camaro myself, but you know those are my T-top mullet mobile. I've had way too many of those things in my life.
I just think it's hilarious when you're at like a dirt track like Lernerville or somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and then you hear over the intercom on iRacing, "Will the driver of the silver Aston Martin please," like it's like a headlights left on message. And I'm thinking, man, how many Aston Martins are in Knoxville, Iowa?
0.
Lernerville, Pennsylvania.
I can answer that one pretty confidently. There are 0 in Knoxville. So we have got a almost lap down Nodge, an almost lap down Jester, and a 4-second behind the leader, and the only other guy on the lead lap, Roy Hyde. We are we're getting a hurting put on us by that 7 car. And Benson is now 2 down. Turan, of course, I mean that he's, for all intents and purposes, I mean after that he's probably done.
I wonder
Cars,
what happened
Kreidler,
with the 10
Sutphin.
car. Because, yeah, I really expected Kobe to be in front of Skyler and Kreidler there through that cycle based on when he had pit.
Well, he had dropped so much time beforehand. It just kind of put him on the back foot coming back.
Yeah, I think you can about write the 10 car off at this point, unless there's, you know, a string of yellows.
Well, yeah, and I don't think we're gonna have. I don't think we're gonna have that. But yeah, we got. Well, there goes Nodge. There goes Jester. Boy, them two really look slow. I wonder if they're clutching it and just doing it really, really early. Well, then they got lost time to make up for, so that could be. So now they are both down a lap. So literally, the 7 and the 305 are the only 2 on the lead lap.
Oh, it looks like Kobe Sutphin actually got a pit road penalty.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Couple speeding penalties tonight.
Yeah, he pitted and had a pit a lap and a half later.
Well, that was me and my big mouth saying it was an easy pit road. So, I mean, that's on me. Sorry. I'm
Well,
sure.
an easy pit road opens it up to, if you want
People
to,
trying to
push
be
an entry.
aggressive. Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit notorious for the 87 cars just trying to get on too hot my first time on pit road and spinning out like I did at Daytona. Who won that race?
The guy with the fastest car?
No comment.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got beef.
No, I'm just.
Need a beef
I was trying to
sizzle.
have you. I was trying to have you tee it up to say Kendall won the Daytona race in the 87s.
I'm not one to brag about accomplishments.
I just
That
don't
was a
accomplish
track
anything.
position race. I mean, honestly, I was a sitting duck if the yellows didn't come out, but I think somebody missed a gear at the end of that thing, and
There was just a little parking lot.
I am being accosted in the YouTube chat right now by a certain Canadian who will remain nameless who has poor internet.
oh jeez, that's so unfortunate. I mean, Piercini got plagued at the end of the Xfinity series last season with that. Hopefully he can get it straightened out before we go live here in a week. Is it next week?
Yeah, next week is it. We go, we start doing this for points next week.
Darlington.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, right off the old get-go. Switch our dots around so we can see who's who. And now Roy has made his pit stop. And you are looking at the only car on the lead lap. This is the thing that when you're like 6 and you're playing with your Matchbox cars, you just dream about. It's like, yeah, I'm so fast I lapped the entire field. turned
But
out.
if Roy, watch this though, if Roy can do a decent job getting in and out of pit road, he could make up a couple of seconds, which he was about 3 seconds behind AJ. AJ doesn't need to stay out there too long. He knows he can make it to the end. At this point, he's just losing time.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. We're at that'll be 36 to go. I'm not real sure why. I mean, you've got everybody lapped. I mean, realistically, which Skyler's right behind him. So, you know, Skyler's going to unlap himself probably. Kreidler will unlap himself. Kobe and Hyde, they'll be back. So you'll have the 5 on the lead lap. Woo! Skyler went on up, and they're all aggressive like.
Looks like AJ's probably planning on coming this time.
You'd hope. It just.
I don't know why he'd stay out there. Yeah, here he comes. Yeah, just get it woed up. It looks like he was carrying a lot of speed.
Let's see here from his dashboard. 57 miles an hour. What's pit road speed there? I thought it was only like 50.
I can't imagine it being 60.
Well, yeah, I've got the crawler up there. I mean, he was bouncing 57, 59. So I guess we'll
There's
see.
no way it's 60.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting a couple over 55, but maybe that was. I don't know. I was just thinking this one was like a 50.
No, he's good. He slowed down enough
he's down
after he got into the pit road. That yeah, it's an average of speed, so you can at least, if you speed entering, you can just slow it way down and it'll not ticket. So he stayed under 40 for a little bit there after he came down, so he should be good.
All right, so with him cycling back out.
Now look at Roy Hyde. He's right there.
Yep, that's what I was say. That then puts.
You see all that time he gained. Now he can see the win in front of him.
The wide shot things out here. We've got Skyler with a 10-second lead over Kreidler, Sutphin, Benish, and Hyde. They are all just right there within about a second and a half of each other.
And they've all got a pit.
Well, yeah, except for Benish doesn't. Hyde shouldn't have to, right? Let's pop
No,
out.
no, this race is, if it's green, it's between the 7 and the 305. Everybody else is going to have to bring it down pit road at least for a splash and go, and that's going to take probably, what do you think, Kyle, 25, 30 seconds?
More than that. Just the total time down pit road is going to be just so much time. I would look at people like, you know, Naj and whoever else was in the back that, you know, was out that long to kind of maybe steal a position here as we see AJ get chopped a little bit by Kobe Sutphin.
And
Yeah, he's got to be very, very careful through here. This is definitely a situation he's got to be patiently aggressive as they're 3 wide for a minute.
Yeah, I think for him, even getting that shallow entry just kind of gives him an excuse to clutch in. Because at the end of the day, he's still got to save fuel over the run, but he's definitely close enough. As Kobe Sutphin pulled out and got super loose, almost did what Brandon Jones did, I think, at this track, where he pulled out to make a move and overcorrected in the outside wall. That was real sketchy there for him and John Kreidler.
This is going to be a critical stage of the race for Roy Hyde. He has lost so much time in this exchange of cars right here.
The 10 about took the back bumper off the 99, so that was trying to crank down for dear life is where it got him. Also had a almost 47-second stop for Rafter, so I think the speeding fairy got him again.
Oh my goodness. Well, he's not going to be happy, but at least his Dallas Stars got another victory for him yesterday.
We have got Jester and Rafter. Kreidler is on pit road.
I guess he's coming and getting his fuel early.
Yeah, if I'm AJ here, I just need to focus on what I was doing, because I think Roy did a good job of kind of coming down when he did and whatnot, but Roy's at a slight disadvantage, but I try to just make sure you're not burning your stuff up here.
Well, Roy is kind of gaining on AJ from what I'm seeing now. He's back in my picture. So initially, it looked like AJ did a much better job getting through traffic, but at least the last couple of laps, I think the 305's been quicker.
So AJ is currently coasting. I wonder if Roy is as well. Yeah, they're both coasting, but honestly, listening to the onboard, it's like Roy's doing it a little bit less. So I don't know. I would be more inclined to think that AJ is in a safer position here, because there's going to be a point where you're going to have enough fuel and you don't need to do the clutch and coast.
Roy has lost almost half a second in these last couple of laps. And actually, right there, he has lost a half a second now in 3 laps. So yeah, I would almost think it's time to just be on the gas. I mean, they've got enough. Surely they've got enough.
No, because they put themselves in a position through fuel saving. That's why you haven't seen it switched to Jester for me, and he was about dead sideways down the front stretch there. No, I mean the whole run they were saving fuel, so they're just in the window to be able to save fuel and make it to the end. That's the strategy. It's not. They haven't put themselves in a position to where they have saved fuel enough over the first 2 stops to just not pit or not have to worry about fuel.
So a lot of these guys that couldn't make it, we saw them in pits early to just go ahead and knock that stop out, but Skylar doing the opposite strategy. He's going to hang on to the lead as long as he can. And I think Skylar still has it. Oh, as soon as we say that, he hits pit road. He has another set of tires right now. And this is the right call for Skylar, because he can come out of the pits and drive that car for all it's worth.
And may very well end up, hopefully for us, catching back up and making a run for it here with these 25 laps that we've got left of this. Because I'm sure that being a student, that I'm sure some extra dollars in Skylar's pocket would be nice too. Maybe AJ's trying to win some money to put a motor on that boat. Everybody likes a good motor boat. Way easier than paddling.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it, guys. He's come out 26 seconds behind AJ with 25 laps to go. I don't see him making up a second per lap. I mean, the tires are going to fall off before then.
I think it's more doable, more doable than we think. But I think, yeah, like you said, with the fall off.
And AJ's still running 31.3 right now.
Yeah, and he's saving fuel, and by proxy with just the line he's running, I think he's saving tires as well. So I think he's sitting pretty.
Yeah, and he's worked out to a 3.1 second lead over Hyde. And yeah, I mean, Carnes is making way, but I mean, yeah, he's 26. Well, he got 24 to go, and he's got 26 seconds. So I mean, you do that math. We're gonna have to hold a little over a second lap advantage in speed for this math to work out. See, kids, pay attention to school. Math is important.
The only thing is, though, if we do get a caution, I don't think anybody has any sets of tires left. But Skylar will have fresher tires than both Roy Hyde and AJ Binish.
No, shouldn't AJ and Roy still have a fresh set left because they cut out a pit stop?
No, because they run 40, 80, 120, and we said there was only 3 laying. So everyone had to make a run for at least a few laps without taking tires. I don't believe anybody has a full set. Unless they had 4 sets to begin with, then they all probably do, but...
No, they had 3 sets. I just checked. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, Skylar is under 25 seconds now, but you know we're working down to 21 to go. So the way he is making is just not enough.
Oh, and he just got so loose in the middle of 1 and 2. I was on the apron sideways.
Yeah, he's gonna need AJ to almost lose the car and save it, and give up 4 or 5 seconds, and then he'd have a prayer.
Well,
But
he threw away that thing because he just did exactly what you were just talking about in 1 and 2. He was dead sideways, left front tire on the apron there, last time by.
well, now's the point in the broadcast where you start talking about AJ Benish and the camera focuses on the 7 car because there's not a whole lot going on around the rest of the racetrack. You
And
never
then
do
Joey
want to
Logano
jinx
shows
the
up and
guy.
wrecks him.
You never do want to jinx a guy, but man, I mean, AJ's played this strategy so many times, and you got to feel good for him if he can finally cash it out.
Yeah, because
well
he did the
deserved.
exact same thing last year, and last season, I should say, and then it all fell apart at the end with a late race caution.
And looking at times, it will shock nobody that Skyler was the fastest on the track with 31:12. And problem with that was Benish ran a 31:87, Hyde ran a 31:94. So, I mean, that's 7/10. So yeah, I mean, realistically, without a yellow, Skyler's done. Stick a fork in him. He's pretty well out.
If he gets within 4 seconds of AJ here, or if he can get by Roy, I think that half spin in turn 1 just potentially threw away a Hail Mary shot at the win.
Well, yeah, and 8/10, 18 laps. I mean, he's got about a 17-second deficit, so
I
that
got
may be
bet
something
for
to
you.
see.
How many seconds behind AJ does Skyler finish?
Oh no! Oh, there's a crash on the front stretch.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
Will Jester, I was just getting ready to flip over to him. We got damage on the 002. Oh boy, let's see.
So Oliver got on the outside of Will Jester, and that's just a case of, it looks like he was there and Will maybe didn't start coming down. I would put that to a racing deal, but a very, very unfortunate one.
Well, that's going to be a hell of a break for Skylar Carnes.
Everything we were just talking about. And yeah, the 74 drifted up and Ollie was there. So yeah, that was a me and Sid is what that was.
And I don't think anybody has tires to even put on this thing.
Well,
And
Kreidler's
it's
going
worth
to get the lucky
mentioning
dog.
Kreidler. Yeah, Kreidler's going to get the lucky dog. But he'll have to start behind all the other cars.
Well, so the jinx worked.
That is not what we wanted to do, but
No, that's pretty
going to
crazy.
make things exciting here at the end. I mean, if I'm the 7 car, I'm going to make that thing as wide as it can possibly get for the last 12 laps or so of this thing.
Yeah, the field itself is going to come around here. We're going to see who all, if anybody pops on
Roy
the pit road. Yep.
But I don't know that he's got any tires. Maybe he has a left side tires he could put on there, but not sure.
I just want to say, for AJ here, for the sake of AJ's race with Skyler, I would be really worried if I was Skyler with how hard he was driving there trying to catch up. So it might be a little bit more equalized than the 10-lap difference. But, yeah, I don't think AJ was really pressing the tires. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
Roy came down and just got fuel only just to ensure he's going to make it to the end, which he should have been able to make it with the caution.
Well, well, well. All right, so Skyler came in, topped off. So let's we'll take a look here, just while we're thinking about what we're going to. Okay, so we're going to look here. The 10 car. 10 car looks good and straight both ways, so I'm not sure what we got going there. Roy's car looks good. Skyler. Just double check, make sure it doesn't look like anybody else got into anything. That's good. Jester's definitely banged up. Now, that's kind of odd that Jester didn't come in and take a fast repair. His car's, got both entered. It's got front and back. He was already a lap down, so he's going to come in now probably. Yep, there we go. So he'll come in and get that. Ollie, let's check his car. His front's still all mangled, and apparently he decided he just likes it that way. Because he's not coming in. Well, guys, now what? We're going to have a restart with, what, a dozen laps to go. And, I mean, now I see another wreck coming. I mean, I just, quite honestly, I mean, it's going to be somebody trying to get all they can, and they're going to wipe somebody out.
Yeah.
Well, that would be what AJ would want.
Yeah, that's got to be just kind of a sinking feeling, knowing that you've got fresher tires behind you, and a guy that pretty consistently comes in here and beats up on us. Man, and this, on having the race that he had to, man, that's rough. So I'm going to gearbox this and look out the back here.
Notch has fresh tires.
Yeah, but he stuck a lap down. Now, if he can, if he can get in the lucky dog spot and there's a quick yellow, there's a story there.
Yeah, Notch is sitting good here. Quick caution. He's gonna be fast.
To be the king with the freshest tires.
Well, Notch is in the 48.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That he'd be the king with the freshest tires.
I put a 48 hat on my Dale Earnhardt Sr. cutout just to prove a point that Dale Earnhardt is the biggest Notch fan. So maybe it's a good omen for Notch here.
I definitely think that tracks. I could see Senior going to Lowe's. I mean, with him and Stewart, I highly doubt he went to Home Depot for anything.
I'm looking at his fire suit. I don't see anything. I see Burger King. It's unfortunate.
Well, we've got the pace car getting ready to pull off here, and we're going to have 12 to go.
Yep. We're going to have 12 more. We'll decide.
All restarts on green, so no advantage to AJ here.
And Ollie's going to be damaged and slow as the green comes out, so that may affect Notch a little bit too. The inside line's probably not going to go too terribly far.
AJ's going to try to make that 7 car wide. See Roy Hyde on the outside. Skylar's kind of stuck right now with nowhere to go, but there the bottom opens up, and there comes the 47. They're 3 wide right now for the lead, heading into turn 3 and 4. AJ drove it in as deep as he possibly could. It's going to end up sliding in front of Roy Hyde. But Skylar Carnes takes the 47 car back to the point with 11 to go.
And Skylar is throwing up the Tyreek Hill deuces to everybody. The best thing on the planet for him right now is to just watch this stay side by side behind him, and you can see that car get really small off the roof of the 7.
I think Kobe Sutton has tires.
He is
Yeah,
still
he's
showing
awful
a lap
fast
down.
right now. Yeah, he needed AJ to pit there and top off, but obviously AJ didn't need to pit, and then Kobe could have taken a wave around. Well, but then he wouldn't have been able to pit, so I guess that's irrelevant, but
Skylar has already opened up almost an 0.8 of a second lead over AJ and Roy. And Roy has, he's kind of going to hang there and try and harass AJ. Doesn't look like he's got a whole lot for him.
yeah, looking a little bit higher lane right now than AJ, but AJ's got a little bit fresher tires than Hyde has.
Yeah, let's jump back to Roy because Sutphin is all up in his business going off in one. Yeah,
Now for leader Skylar Carnes, it's all cruise control at this point. Just hit all your marks and manage the gap.
Well, and he's backed off. He has lost about a tenth, just out of 2 there, or out of 4. Yeah, Sutphin is all about trying to get Roy to move over and let him have that spot. He's up underneath him, corner in, corner off, and backs off in the center to kind of give him a little bit. Back real quick here. The Nodge, as mentioned earlier with new tires, is kind of stuck between the 42 and 45 having their own side-by-side battle here. So if he can luck out with that and maybe pull himself out of a quick trip around, maybe that'll do something. But that 47 car, man, I tell you, that thing is hard to beat.
Yeah, if I'm Kobe Sutphin, man, I'd be hauling butt, man, to try to get as close as I can to Skylar here. I know it's like, okay, you get the caution and you get the wave around, but if you get the wave around, you're behind all the lappers.
Oh yeah, that's...
He's got a shot to win this race if he can get by Skylar and a caution comes out.
We're running out of opportunities to rack them back up. We're coming around to 4 to go. And again, we got
battling pretty tough back there between Ollie Turan, Al Corey, those guys.
Yeah, that's what I was just seeing was like we got some Ollie battle happening here. Vince are side by side down the front stretch in one.
Look at Naj, man. Naj is making it up here to Roy High. That's not for position, but good run here for Roy. Or, sorry, Naj on the fresh tires.
Yeah, Naj running 6th. Like I say, the Naj is the guy that has fans. That's not even a sponsor plug. I use it.
Yeah, that apron is just, it's one of those things where you can try to use it, but it's just, if you get it wrong, you're going to pay. You're going to just get that snap oversteer, and hopefully it doesn't catch and then send you into the outside wall.
Well, Skylar's been able to extend out to a 2-second advantage with just 2 laps to go.
And Kreidler in 4th is actually running at the back of the pack. So I think
yeah,
he's
must not have had any set the tires.
Coming around 3 and 4 with Kobe hot on his heels, but we're getting to where that's going to be a moot point. I mean, he can let him go because that might be smarter than trying to hold him back there and getting wrecked.
Man, Benson just went down to the apron, and I think his left front tire just flew up in the air. That did not look pleasant.
Yeah, we had that weird graphical.
Well, coming through 3 and 4 after the late race caution, Skylar Carnes is going to use it to his advantage, and he's going to win the money race.
Skylar is going to take home dollars.
Obviously, the big turning point in the race was the incident between Oliver Turan and Will Jester there. And you got to be gutted for AJ Benish. Really think he had it in the bag without the yellow, but that's racing. That's just not everything in racing is in your control, and unfortunately that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, I think all of us have been on both ends of those.
Yeah, that's just absolute shame for him just to kind of have that situation. I mean, especially when it happens at the same track 2 times in a row, where you think you're gonna have it all locked up and then it just falls away, and there's nothing you can do to help.
Let's pull AJ in here real quick while we get some donuts out of our winner. Hey AJ, you're in the broadcast booth. Man, that's just man.
That's racing.
And was there anything that could have went any worse other than that last caution? I mean, if not, that's what we spent 100 laps talking about, was that you had them covered.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. Although last time we were here for No Toad, the same thing happened where I had a single car spin when I had about a 20-second lead with 15 to go, and cost me the win there and got second there too. So I had never really written off that happening again. Didn't think it would actually happen exactly that way, but that's racing. So I think I kind of got to that spot where I knew when I saw Skylar take 2 tires that if he was able to not fall a lap behind and have to fight through the field, that it was going to be his race. And then I would just fight Roy for second. So.
Yeah, there is nobody who didn't know that you were here tonight, man. We'll pop back over, and I'm gonna steal Roy from you in there for a minute too. But it was a good race. Just God, man, maybe the next season's be a third time as the charm.
Maybe it will. We'll see. So thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, man. All right, we're gonna grab Roy, Mr. Hyde. How was that race to you?
It was strenuous. I'll give it that one. Constant. I mean, me and AJ were in talking on Discord, and we were saving from probably lap 3.
Yeah, it took us in the booth a little bit to figure that out. I think Kyle kind of caught on to you, and then we did some ride along and heard you guys on basically at idle and still passing people. That's impressive.
Well, I appreciate it, but yeah, we were push the clutch in and just let it coast and saving as much gas as we could. AJ was dominant. The caution really messed with him, but yeah, he had a great car. We were both on the same strategy. It was going to be probably 1-2 if nothing. The caution didn't happen, but yeah, he was quick. We were having a lot of fun with it.
Yep. All right, we'll send you back in there with him, and we're gonna jump over and grab our dollars winner. So all right, thanks, Roy.
No problem, guys. Everybody.
All right, then we're gonna try and see if we can get Skylar to pop over here. Skylar, you won 50 cents in a one-way trip to scenic downtown Argyle, Iowa. How was that yellow for you?
To be honest, I was baffled. I was like, wait, what? What the heck just happened? Holy crap, there's a yellow, because I was just in my headspace like, all right, I'll settle for a top 3. AJ just dominated on the field strategy, and whenever that yellow came out, it was just like a heavenly sent angel just came down. It was like, here you go, Skyler. You saved the tires, you get to take it.
Well, I think Kendall gets a cut. He kind of gave us the idea of the broadcaster's jinx, and it worked within 2 laps.
Did you seriously jinx him, Kendall?
I hate that. Pop in the booth once a season and pull something like that. It's definitely not the idea, but no, we were just trying to work out math equations the whole race on how everything was going to work out, and we were keeping an eye on. We knew you had an extra set based on what happened that first round of pit stops, seeing you fall through the rankings, and we were trying to figure out if it went green, if you were going to have anything to catch up to them, and we were just talking about how many seconds you were going to end up losing by, and the yellow come out, and it was a couple guys, I believe, battling for position that got into it, but obviously a game changer when there's certain people with tires left and certain people with not, and all on the same lead lap.
Yeah, I was doing the mental math in my head whenever I got back around him, and he was 11.4 behind me after his stop. I knew he had enough to make it to the end, so he was going to push it all the way he could because he was 10 laps over to the good. he made sure of that. So he was pushing it. I wasn't saving fuel. There was no way I could save. I was trying to, see how much I could go until he got within 10 seconds, and then I was going to try to pit, do two rights, which is what I did. I did 2 rights, and then took half a tank of fuel, got back out there, and was going to try to run them down. But
well, that was a good call. Like, that's not something that any of us picked up on. To just save the time and just take those 2 rights and the less fuel. So I'm sure it saved you at least probably 6 or 7 seconds.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And it put me back out in front of them again, and I was able to just try to run down as much time as I could. I knew I might have had a shot for Roy coming to the end because he was stretching it thin, but I knew AJ was going to be a little bit tough. And then when that caution came out, I came in, took my lefts, and just drove away with it. AJ, I'm still baffled on how he's able to save that much.
Well, we were riding
the whole time.
Yeah, we were riding with him. He was clutching it in the corners, and he wasn't the only one out there doing that, but he's got something figured out for Vegas for sure.
I'll give props to him. I feel bad that I stole the win from him. That's heartbreaking that his strategy got thrown out the window. It's always heartbreaking when something like that happens. He drove his butt off tonight.
Well, he come on. We were just saying it right before we brought him in for the interview, and he was understanding. His explanation was that's racing, and that is the way it is. Not all of racing's in your control, and you did a great job capitalizing off the circumstances that were handed to you.
Oh yeah, you need a little bit of luck coming into a race and everything to go your way. Caution at the right time, perfect pit stops, saving a set of tires, that all happens. So I got lucky tonight. The racing gods were with me.
And as I've said a million times, I will take being lucky over good every single time.
And Skylar's both.
Yeah, no, I was gonna tell AJ I've got a couple of pet bunnies I'd throw in a box and send it to him, and he has some rabbit feet, but I don't know if he wants to. I'd presume that'd probably kill the rabbit, so that's probably not cool.
This is what I get for calling
that
you
open.
All right, well, we're gonna kill off this stream. We got some dollars that Skylar's gonna inherit because, man, just luck dominates Las Vegas, and I hate all the puns that they do on TV. But of all the places for it to happen, that's kind of weird that it happens here twice to AJ. For Kendall, for Kyle, for everybody, this is Cooper. We will see you next Sunday for the season points kickoff, and we might see you tomorrow for ARCA. I've got everything set up, so I may not race this week, and we just might broadcast tomorrow, but we'll see. We will talk to you later from the No Toad Racing Network. See ya.
Good job, buddy. You run right there.